Hey guys, it's Little Rocker Cutie 2005, also known as Andre, back with you guys on Late Night Frights after a long hiatus due to some moving issues, but it is our Neo Monster week this week, and I chose to review The Descent. Now, as you can see, I have it in this 4-pack with Cabin Fever 1 and 2, and then it's got both parts of The Descent, but I'm going to concentrate on the first Descent, which is really the good one. It's about these 6 girls, 6 women basically, who are basically, they're like extreme sports nuts. They're adventurers. They go exploring in caves, whitewater rafting, whatnot. Well, anyways, one of the girls takes them to this cave system that wasn't on any map, and she's basically led them there because she wanted them to discover this system and actually have them be the first ones to have found it. Now, there will be some minor spoilers, but I'll try not to give too much away. But basically, once they get in this cave, the only way to get out is to keep going down through the caves. That's why, hence the name The Descent. But they have to keep going through the caves further down into them to actually get back up to the surface. And what they find when they get down there is that there's these creatures that look kind of like humans, but they're all like white, and their eyes are like all white, sort of like in the original Evil Dead, how when somebody got possessed, their eyes went all white. But anyways, these creatures have basically been living in this cave system for probably thousands of years, living off of animals and whatnot. And basically these creatures start picking off the girls one by one by one, and they're basically flesh eaters pretty much. And so it comes down to, I think, like the last 2 girls, and this is kind of a major plot point, but you find out that the one girl who survived and this other girl, the one who led them to the caves, she was sleeping with the other girl's husband. And so the husband and the daughter had died in a car crash in the beginning of the movie. And the one girl, I think her name's, I'm trying to think what her name is. I don't remember her name. But she finds out that this other girl's been sleeping with her husband while they're in the caves, and so it turns into a fight between the 2 of them, and it's basically, they're trying to survive these creatures that are wanting to eat them alive. And so it's a survival movie, it's a creature movie, it's a really cool movie. I highly recommend checking it out. But I would have to say I'd give this movie probably a 3.5 out of 5 stars, because it's really decent, but the ending kind of sucks, because this is actually the original unrated version, which has the original ending they showed in the UK, whereas with the American ending, you had the one girl survive and basically escape the caves. But I won't give away the ending of this one, which is the original version, but if you've seen it, you know how it ends. But it's a really, really interesting movie, and I have a lot of fun watching it. But it's just one of them, it leaves you on the edge of your seat. And sorry. There's even a little bit of a found footage element, because they take a couple of them take cameras down there to film what they're basically seeing. And so there's actually one part where one girl hears something and she's calling out, is there anybody there? And you're actually seeing what the camera's seeing. And so you don't notice, but you kind of do notice at the same time that while these girls are calling out for help, wondering if there's somebody there, there's actually a creature behind them, and that's when the first attack happens. So these creatures are basically like, just vicious, and it turns out that at one point they may have been human and gotten trapped down there, and then they just started living off whatever they could, and they just kind of morphed into these creatures, you could say. I don't really know the origin of the creatures, because it never really goes into that. But it's basically about the girls trying to escape from the cave, and the creatures are basically picking them off one by one. But there's scenes where they find out that people have been there before, because there's them grappling, not grappling hooks, but them kind of hooks that you would put into a rock, to climb or go across something. They find a couple of those in one scene, and when they're trying to escape, and they basically have to use that to get across, and it's really kind of old and rickety, so they have to be kind of careful, otherwise it's over this huge drop, and then basically if they don't get across, they're going to fall to their death. But it's a really good movie. 3.5 out of 5 stars. I highly recommend it. I don't know what much else I can say, but it is good to be back here on Late Night Frights. Once again, I am Little Rocker Cutie 2005, also known as Andre, telling you to enjoy life, enjoy some Skittles, enjoy some Starburst, and in the immortal words of my faithful partner Chris, or Buffy Xena Man, he always says, eat some chicken. I'll see you guys next week on Late Night Frights.